I'm Casey.
And I'm Corey.
And we are the Wright Brothers. I'd like to welcome you to this edition of Tech Corner.
And in this edition, we're going to be taking a look at how you can become a super source for real estate content.
Absolutely. There are so many great sources for real estate information out there, but it really becomes about managing these sources and making them come to you on a regular basis so you don't have to look for them all the time.
You know, I heard a great analogy the other day. It's like trying to extract one piece of information out of the internet is like trying to drink out of a fire hydrant.
Yeah.
And so what we want to do is show you some tools that you can really start to extract a lot of great real estate related content that you can provide to your clients and make it seem like it's more drinking out of a faucet than drinking out of a fire hydrant. We've got some great tips we want to show you, so let's splash right in. Alright, the first great source to find real estate content is on a social network called ActiveRain, which can be accessed at activerain.com. Casey, why don't you introduce us? I know you've become a pretty big player in the ActiveRain community.
Yeah, well, there's really no better place to get real estate information than from real estate professionals. I mean, they know the market, they're seeing it on a daily basis. And ActiveRain is a social network of 150,000 real estate professionals throughout the country. And it's a great place where you can go on and you can see not just opinions about individual markets, but you can see detailed market reports, you can see advice on how to deal with certain clients or difficult situations. They have a searchable database of all the blog posts that different real estate agents put up. It is an amazing resource for real estate agents, especially if you're newer in the business. You can benefit from the wealth of experience and expertise that exists from 150,000 real estate professionals throughout the country.
Absolutely, and it's basically set up as a blogging site so that different realtors or different members of the ActiveRain community post blogs, and they really inspire conversation, and really intelligent conversation among other real estate related professionals where they can start to debate and argue and talk about differences or similarities within different markets. It's a fantastic place to find great real estate discussion and collaboration. ActiveRain.com.
Yeah, now one thing I would say on this is once you show up to ActiveRain, you might be a little bit overwhelmed. It's not necessarily the easiest interface to deal with, but I would encourage you to stick it out because, and it's a very supportive community. If you just ask questions about what you're supposed to do of your associates or even in a blog post, people will be really happy to help you out, but stick with it. There's a lot of great information there.
Perfect. Another great tool that you can use to find a lot of great real estate content is Twitter, and particularly a function that Twitter has called Twitter Search. Why don't you talk with us about that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Twitter is a place where you have approximately 70 million people, and the number is always rising, talking about various things, talking about their lives. And among the things that people talk about are there various home searches or agents talking about clients that they're dealing with. And you can search any term on Twitter, basically like you would search for Google, and see in real time what people are saying about that topic. So you can do things like seeing what people are talking about the Orange County housing market, or how many people are going to open houses and what they're saying about what it's like out there. You can type in commission rates and see what agents are dealing with out there. All of these things can be tremendous resources for information, and it's a real-time, up-to-date thing. So, I mean, there's no more immediate source for information.
Absolutely, and a lot of time people use Twitter to post links to stories that they've found around the web. It might be back to an ActiveRain blog, it could be to a different story or a news story, a lot of different ways. And if you want to find some great content, you can actually go and follow us on Twitter. We're at twitter.com/WrightBrothers. We're always posting interesting articles and things that we find within the real estate community. Another great way to stay up to date. Another fantastic tool that people can use to really start to get a lot of inbound content sent to them is a tool called Google Alerts, which I'm blown away hasn't become more popular since it's been around for several years now. Talk with us about Google Alerts.
Yeah, and actually I think agents have a great framework for understanding what Google Alerts is, because whenever you go on the MLS and you search for a criteria for a home, one of the things that you'll do is you'll set to be notified if there's any new homes that come on the market that meet that criteria. Google Alerts is basically a way to do that with search terms. So basically, let's say you come across a Google search like Orange County housing market, and then I want to, and I can see anything that's come up about the Orange County housing market up to that date. But I can also set a Google alert which will notify me in real time whenever a new story is posted, be it a blog post or something that is the Associated Press puts up, or anything on there, a video about it. All of that will come directly to me and it'll be emailed to me, or I can set it to come up to my RSS feed reader. So just a great way to get information on whatever search term you want.
If you want to find how to get to Google Alerts, simply type in Google Alerts in your Google search bar. It will be the top click that comes up, and from right there you can start to set up all of your Google Alerts that you'd like so that you can have information that you specifically are looking for emailed to you on a regular basis rather than having to go and try and find it out there on the internet. Now, a final way that you can really start to get a lot of inbound content and really start to filter through and become a great source of information is by signing up for e-newsletters. Talk with us about some ideas that you have here.
Yeah, and I think this is really important. You know, for agents, one of the biggest priorities is becoming an area expert. It's really important that you understand the areas that you work in. And a lot of times the best resources for that information aren't necessarily the mainstream media or even the World Wide Web, but really where you can get the information sometimes is from your local schools, your local city governments. And I found that the best way to get information from these places is to sign up for their e-newsletters. Almost every single high school, elementary school, almost every single school district, almost every single city government, city council has an e-newsletter that you can sign up for free, and they'll send you whenever something interesting is going on. You can find out about fascinating events that are happening in your community. You can talk about interesting political discussions that are going on, about funding disputes, all sorts of fascinating information that's available on these e-newsletters.
Right, another great way to really have that information come up and set yourself apart as an expert based on just having information sent to you that other people have created. So those are 4 great ways that you can become a super source for real estate content. Use ActiveRain, use Twitter, including the Twitter search function, use Google Alerts, and sign up for local e-newsletters. All are great ways to have that content coming into you so that you can become an expert overnight. We'd like to thank you for joining us on this edition of Tech Corner, and we'll catch you next time.